Welcome to our Chom Sports News channel. Arsenal face Jorginho contract dilemma amid Martin Zubimendi transfer problem. As Arsenal produced one of their performances of the season to beat Liverpool 3-1 last Sunday, there were few who had a better game than Jorginho. On his first Premier League start since November, the Italian produced a player of the match display crucial to retaining Arsenal's place in this year's title race. Unbelievable, Mikel Arteta said of the 32-year-old's display in his post-match press conference. I always say that he's an example, a role model. He's been in a lot of pain because he's had an issue he's been carrying for months. He didn't want to stop, he's been playing with that. He's been training, always the first one in and the last one out. For all the kids at the club, if you want to look at somebody, just look at him. He's won everything, but you ask him not to play or play 1 minute last week, he's happy to go there. Ask him to play 90 minutes at that rhythm and he's able to do that. I'm really lucky to have players like this. Now the dust has settled on a truly outstanding performance though, questions are being asked over how many more Jorginho will have in an Arsenal shirt. The Italian's contract is due to run out this summer, although Arsenal have the option to extend it by a further 12 months. Speaking in November, the player's agent said that he would look to address the situation with the Arsenal hierarchy in February. Now that time has come around, and a decision is still yet to be made. For many it would seem like a no-brainer to retain the services of a player still capable of deciding the biggest games in English football for another year. In reality though, it is not quite that simple. Arsenal's defensive midfield position is about to enter a transitional phase. Declan Rice is undoubtedly the future at the base of the Gunners' midfield, but beyond him things are far from certain. Mohamed El-Neni, the club's longest-serving player, is set to leave when his contract expires this summer despite an expressed desire to stay. Thomas Partey, meanwhile, has struggled yet again with injuries this season, and will have just 12 months left on his contract in July. Having been open to offers for the Ghanaian last summer, Arsenal will be willing to sell for the right price again this time around. Albert Sambi Lokonga will also return when his loan spell with Luton comes to an end, but his long-term future appears to be elsewhere. If El-Neni, Jorginho, Lokonga, and Partey were all to leave, then Arsenal would need someone beyond Rice. The club are aware of this and have begun scouting replacements. Football.London understands that Martin Zubimendi is high on that list. The Spanish international has a £51 million release clause and it's easy to see how he can fit into Arteta's plans. In build-up he will look to drop between the centre-backs to lure on an opposition press that creates space for Real Sociedad front line that includes pacey forwards like reported erstwhile Arsenal targets Takefusa Kubo and Andre Silva. This can be seen in the still below from Sociedad's Copa del Rey semi-final with Mallorca. He starts in his traditional defensive midfield position as Hamari Traore is prevented from passing forwards in midfield. Martin Zubimendi is in his defensive midfield starting position for Real Sociedad in their Copa del Rey semi-final first leg against Mallorca but looks to drop in between his centre-backs. Sensing that he will be needed deeper, Zubimendi drops between Igor Zubielda and Robin Le Normand to be ready to receive the ball and lure the Mallorca press further forward. Martin Zubimendi is now in between the centre-backs and receives a pass from Igor Zubielda and can lure the Mallorca press. On this, though, is something that Jorginho can do too. On Sunday he was willing recipient to help the Arsenal defence build from the back and draw the Liverpool press forward. This can be seen in the still below where he drops between Gabriel and William Saliba to offer the latter a passing option. Jorginho drops between Gabriel and William Saliba during Arsenal's clash with Liverpool to receive a ball from the latter. Gabriel can be seen signalling up to Gabriel Martinelli to make a run in behind. Gabriel can be seen here signalling to Gabriel Martinelli to make a run forward. The Brazilian forward obliges and it is the sequence of play that ultimately leads to his goal to put Arsenal 2-1 up. There may be a touch of fortune about the way Virgil van Dijk and Alisson mess up for the goal, but the role Jorginho plays in creating the space for Martinelli to run into in the build-up to that situation is very deliberate. Gabriel plays a ball over the top of the Liverpool defence to Gabriel Martinelli in a move that will eventually lead to his goal to put Arsenal 2-1 up in the game. Both Zubimendi and Jorginho are very effective at moving the ball forward. No Sociedad player more progressive passes this season, while Jorginho's impressive average of 10 progressive passes per 90 puts him in the 98th percentile in the Premier League this season, although his significantly lower number of minutes should be taken into account here. It's probably a fair argument to say that Zubimendi is a younger model of Jorginho. The Spaniard has the technicality of his Italian counterpart, and although not blessed with blistering pace or athleticism, he is more mobile as evidenced by the pair's average heat maps for the season below. Martin Zubimendi's heat map for the 2023/24 season. For all that though, Jorginho progresses intangibles beyond his on-pitch abilities that make him a real asset to the Arsenal squad. He is a vocal member of the dressing room and can constantly be seen giving advice to his teammates from the touchline when he is not playing. "Yes, I just get too excited," he has said of this tendency. "I am like, come on boys. What I see, I just try to help how I can. If it's talking from the outside, I will do that just to try and help the boys." Ideally, Arteta would probably like to have both Zubimendi and Jorginho alongside Rice in his squad next season. How gettable Zubimendi is remains to be seen though. The Spaniard is extremely loyal to his boyhood club, and despite a willingness from Sociedad to sell in seasons gone by, it has been the 25-year-old himself who has kiboshed any chance of an exit. Perhaps with a taste of Champions League football under his belt he could be persuaded this summer. It's worth noting that Arsenal aren't the only team interested in Zubimendi, with Bayern Munich, Barcelona, and Manchester United all thought to be looking. It may be that they can't hang around if they want to ensure he's playing his football at Emirates Stadium next season. If the Spaniard does end up staying in Sociedad or going elsewhere though, then extending Jorginho is a more than adequate stopgap as Arsenal look to find a long-term option in their defensive midfield position. Thanks for visiting us, and don't forget to subscribe, like, share and comment.